So the mistake we make, we who are or claim to be experts, is assuming that the people we are talking to do not understand or do not know or do not feel climate change. So we insist on alienating them instead of making them part of the process. And allow me to shed light on this. When I started the Save Our Forest KE campaign, it was a community that reached out to me and told me to come and help them fight and save our forest. But when we started, we left a gap. We did not move together with the community. So we started fighting, leaving out the community, and that is what our opponent, the timber millers, and those who were working in government, colluding with the timber millers to mutilate our forests, used. Because they came in and said, these ones are privileged. They want to take away your only source of income. And the village elders, in their wisdom, called me and said, you know, what you're doing is absolutely brilliant, but you're taking away a source of income and leaving out, and not giving us an alternative. So you need to come together, sit with timber millers, sit with the communities that live around forests, and find a lasting solution. And so that's what we did. And I remember one of the meetings we went to, and people were not appreciative. They didn't even know some of the things we were saying. They didn't know avocado trees were alternatives. They didn't know beekeeping was an alternative. They didn't know tree seedlings was an alternative. They did not know that lightning can kill somebody because we have never been exposed. We've been surrounded by forests. But I think 2 years ago, somebody died from lightning because they had cut down trees. So there was nothing to stop it. And when you start talking about these things, the minister talked about flooding. Flooding affects them. They have to be displaced. So we need to come down to their level. I remember when you were running the Save Our Forest KE campaign on social media, we used dirty cars and we would say, wash me. Soon and very soon there will be no water to wash your car. There was water shortage in Nairobi and we would use photos of people pulling carts of water jerrycans. And that comes down to their level. We have to use something relatable. We have to start from the known to the unknown. So it's extremely crucial because remember, the minister said we need mind shift even in the top level. But for that to happen and for us to eliminate the grid, the true custodians of the natural resources are the people that live around those forests, those water bodies, and only they can protect them. So unless we move with them and educate them and demystify and break down these jargons, we're not going anywhere. Yes, we translate if we have to, but like I said, let us move from the known to the unknown. Yes? So for instance, there is an area that is flooding. The minister was not able to go home. What caused it? That is this is the right time to go to them and say the reason as to why this is flooding is because we have cut down the trees in this forest. Okay. When there is drought, when the rivers are drying, why are they drying? Because we have gone and cultivated in the wetland. No, forget the expert. Forget the expert. Forget the expert for now. The degrees, no, forget the percentage. What we need is to come down to our level and let us speak the language we understand. What were our forefathers doing? I went to a place called Hell's Gate. And we saw a lone buffalo, and I was talking to the ranger who was taking us around, and I said, because I watch a lot of animal documentary, and said, this is the most dangerous. And he said, yes. But he believes in his culture that it can only beat you if you have killed wildlife, if you've been unfair to nature. And these were folktales that were told to help protect nature in our olden days. So can we look for such folktales that we can tell? Can we look for such stories that we can use to train our children? The second president of Kenya introduced the 4K Club, which was an agriculture club in schools to nurture and have more people joining and taking up agriculture for food security. He also believed in gabions. In fact, I grew up knowing about gabions thanks to him. He started a movement, he triggered a movement that for us not to have soil erosion, this is what we do. So we need to come down to the level and start with what people know and then move to the unknown. Let us use stories. Let us tell those stories that we used to tell. I'm a child of the village and I grew up in a small kitchen. We had a fireplace. And my mother would tell us stories. My grandmother, whenever she would visit, she'd come and tell us stories. And stories that today I use to teach people about climate change. So let us go back there. Let us use animations if we have to. Let us use 4IR features like virtual reality to tell these stories so that they are relatable to them. But we have to start from the known to the unknown.